Now, you've studied a lot of tombs, mummification. There's a lot around death and the journey of the soul across, as depicted by various cultures. From whatever you've seen so far and whatever you've studied, what would you say is the most plausible explanation for what the soul is, where it comes from when we're born, and where it goes when we die?
So is it on the context of the Indian part of the Egyptian?
From everything that you've seen, whether it's Indian or Egyptian.
Well, in the Indian tradition is very complex. The question of the Atma and its relation with the Brahm or the Paramatma is very complex. So we have the Upanishads discussing about the entity of the Atma itself. So, in the Ishavasya Upanishad, you have, that is an Upanishad or a religious text. We have a shlok like, Purna Madaha Purna Midam Purnat Purna Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. So it talks about the Purna or the completedness of the Brahm. And even it talks about how the universe emerged from that Brahm or the universal soul, and it is also complete. So obviously you have different contrary views about the Atma and the Paramatma. You have different and complete views about the existence as well as the non-existence of the both. Because you have Buddhism and Jainism that do not talk about the Atma. They do not believe in the existence of a Paramatma and an Atma or an individual soul. So Indians obviously had a very conscious view of the soul, the body, and the mind. Egyptians also had a similar way of understanding the soul. So they understood the soul as something consisting of three parts: the Ka, the Ba, and the Ak. So the Ka is actually the physical form of yourself. It is the clone of yours, the physical appearances, the physical characteristics of the person. The Ba is actually about the inner, your feelings, your emotions, your personality. It is more about that. And the Ak is a manifestation. It's a transfigurated soul. So even they had a very similar concept of the soul, very much like what we have in India about the Manas, the Atma, and the Buddhi. The speech, and we have many parts of the soul being discussed in the Upanishads. So their concept of the Atma and the Egyptian concept of the soul, they find some common roots, but then you need to understand the historical differences between the two. The Indian tradition seems to be much more developed in the way, because Egyptian texts are quite incomplete in the way by which the soul is being discussed about. We don't find exact meanings of those phrases, whereas Sanskrit has a continual history in India, so we can truly understand the meaning of the text. But obviously, if you judge the two, they seem to be connected as well as being unique in their own way.